Hey, what's going on, Sumolings? It's Chris from AppSumo, and today I am super excited to be diving into Swift polling with you guys and with the team behind it. Before we jump in, I want to give you guys two quick pieces. One, this will be recorded, so if you have to leave early or you miss anything, don't worry about taking notes. We'll get that replay out to you later today, and you can check out anything you missed there. Number two, if you have any questions, you can drop those in the Q&A box below the video, and we will circle back to those towards the end. But that is all I have. So I'm going to turn it over to you, amazing folks, and let you guys share your product with everyone.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. My name is Bilal. I'm the founder of Swift Polling. It's a pleasure to meet you all, and thank you all for joining. Basically, what we'll do is to make this interactive, we have created like a quick question for you. And as you guys are taking this question, I will be giving you a quick background about the company and what we have done in the past and what we are planning to do in the future. So if you can see my screen now, if you can please go to swiftpolling.com and then enter this event code ID, which is 19528. So Chris, I'm assuming we have live audiences, right now?
Yes, we do.
Perfect, awesome. So if you can please just go to this URL and then enter the 19528, you should be able to see this question live on your system. And then we actually want to kind of present to you what it is that we're trying to do, and then we will show you how you can set it up from that perspective. So if you actually navigate it to swiftpolling.com and then you enter the 19528 code, so 19528, you'll be basically joining this presentation live. You will notice that we start with the Q&A section, so you can ask questions directly here. The nice thing about this Q&A side of things, it allows you to ask questions and you can moderate them. There's the profanity filters built in, and then you can upvote these questions. So if you look on this side right here, you can see how many people have upvoted this question right now, and it helps us actually know the most popular questions so we can start with them early on. Now, when it comes to the live polling side, if I click on the live polling side, basically, let me just change the question quickly for you. So if I go to all polls, we will change this right here. Perfect. All right. And we should be back here. So Elizabeth, I think you changed this to a word cloud. Let me just quickly change it. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. So this is actually the question that we wanted to ask you. How are you planning to use Swift polling? You can use it for a business presentation. You can use it for teaching a class, a virtual event, an annual general meeting, or during a conference call like this. Or if you have other use cases, please click on other as well. So for the sake of this call, we'll just use the virtual event side. You will start seeing this percentages will fluctuate as people are waiting in. And this is a real-time results coming from the aggregate of all of the users participating. Now, for presentation purposes, this is what you usually present. So you can take this in a full screen environment, and you can show this also as part of a PowerPoint presentation. We are working on adding Google Slides as well, and this is something that should be coming in the first quarter of next year as well. So the results will update in real time. There are a lot of cool features that allows you to kind of change the visualization of what you see here. We'll come back to this, but I can see that 40% of you wants to use it for, or 33% of you wants to use it for business presentation, and half of you for virtual events, and then 17% for annual general meetings. So the reason we created this tool, and just to give you a little bit of background about our story, we actually started this company about 8 years ago. And we started on the B2B or business, like business to business side, in which we were selling this tool directly to broadcasters. Our first customer was NBC Universal, and then Fox, and then Hearst and Telemundo. And we were the company that creates a lot of this real-time interactivity between the television as well as the audience. And we had the request from a lot of people in the sense that, okay, we want to do this in meetings, we want to do this in schools or in conferences. Can we use your tool for that? And we decided to launch Swift Polling at that point a few years ago as a self-serve tool. And today, basically, I have the same plan that each one of you will have when you join the AppSumo campaign. So when you first log in to your page, you'll see a list of all of the questions that you have created so far. So this is kind of your inbox, if you will. On the left-hand side, you see the navigation. So we'll start by creating a quick question now, and I'll walk you through the different types that we have. So here you can see the left panel. We have 3 different type of questions. One is the multiple choice, which is the one we have just used right now. You have the open-ended, and then you have the word cloud feature as well. So we'll start with a multiple choice question. So we'll just have a very simple question. Given that Bitcoin have hit an all-time high today, are you planning to buy Bitcoin? Yes, no, and I'm going to add another option, not sure yet. So right now, I have created this question. You notice that on the right-hand side, I have some like small features enabled. One allows me to delete the option, and the other one allows me to add photos to my option. So if I have, for example, a template, like you can see on the right-hand side, I can have a thumbnail photo showing next to my option. So you can just click on this and essentially upload a photo from your system directly, and then that will reflect into the options that you have and how they are presented. Now, you can add as many options as you like. There is no limit. So this is completely open to you. And then on the right-hand side, you have the templates that you would use for a campaign like this. So out of the box, it comes out with a few different templates that you can use. We will be basically utilizing the most recent one, which we call the next gen template. This one, we have a lot of R&D and a lot of new features coming in. So we recommend that you try this as well. And in this template, you can customize a lot of things in the template. So one, you can choose different templates. You can change the background. So you can just click one of these template backgrounds that we have, or you can upload your image background directly. One question that comes very often is, can I have branding? Can I actually have different colors and feel? So with the background, you can customize a lot of things like a sponsor, or you can have your own look and feel. And then other features like fonts, we have a font library that you can choose from. And we have this available in 2 different formats. One is the horizontal format and then the vertical format. So the horizontal format is primarily used when you have like a virtual event and you're trying to create like a polling widget below the video. So you can use this horizontal layout for it. If you are creating this as a standalone, as we have just used it now, then the standard vertical feature would work best. So this is basically your preview, and you can change a lot of these settings. We have a few more customization and features coming up to this as well. So it's going to be released in Q1, right after the holidays. And when I close this, basically, I have the ability to preview it as we just did. This is how it looks live before it goes live. And then we have a lot of advanced features. For the sake of this webinar, we'll focus on only 2 features. One of them is the ability to link polls, and this is what you can use to create logic, and you can also use it to create surveys. So if I open this up, we have 2 different types. One is a poll forwarding, and then we have an option forwarding. The poll forwarding is the survey side. So if I basically answer this question, I am taken to another question, and I can customize what the call to action or the button would say as a label. So very straightforward. This is another feature that might be useful to some of you in the sense that when you basically don't have a survey, but when they click on this response, you might want to send them to a page that you have created or a special content. From a news perspective, we have a lot of clients who would ask, let's say, a question about Bitcoin. And when you answer it, and they would have a link that would highlight an article they had written about Bitcoin, and you can click on it, and that will take you to their page directly. The option forwarding side, this is really the one that allows you to create some sort of logic. So in this case, if I ask you, how are you planning to buy Bitcoin? If you say yes, I can take you to another question asking you when you plan to actually buy the Bitcoin. If you say no, I can say why not, and if not sure, I can ask you a question basically like what is it that will convince you that Bitcoin will actually be a viable currency, something along this line. So you can choose each one of those options and then set which poll it will take to, and that's what allows you to create the overall logic. All right, so this is kind of the first feature that I wanted to show you from the advanced side of things. Let me just fix the question quickly. The second important feature is basically what happens when there's no active poll. So right now, if I look at here, I can see this is my active poll. We have what we call a stay tuned page, and I can decide what will show here depending on the branding that I want to use. So out of the box, it comes with 3 different templates. One is a very basic orange. One has some like party animations. And then the other one that has some sort of like a spectrum of colors that will change with a loading circle. So you can choose any one of them, and that will become basically what users see when you have no active poll. Now, this is a request that we get very often. Is can I actually have my own branding or my own background? And the answer is yes. So you can just click on upload your own image, and that will allow you to have your custom background as the stay tuned or the background in between polls. So we will launch this poll, and then we'll come back, and then we'll go over the other 2 types quickly. So here we have the ability to click on launch, and I have the ability to also schedule this poll. So for the sake of this poll, we'll just launch it as it is, and we'll make we'll allow people to vote, let's say 10 times per customer or per device. So you can type the number, or you can just use this bar, and then we'll launch this poll. So once we launch this poll, this becomes my kind of like poll details page, if you will. And then in this page, you will notice that the first thing you see is the link to the presentation page. And when you click on the link to the presentation page, it basically takes you to where you are on this poll right here. So this is essentially what you will be seeing. The charts here will update also in real time. And this becomes the link, direct link to the poll, and you can share that with anyone that you want. Now, I think you probably have noticed that the question will update by itself, which is very important. You don't have to refresh. So this automatically updates. And you can reset poll data. Like if you're doing some testing in advance, you can always reset the data. Like I'm just going to reset it now, and then you'll see that all of it has come back to 0. And then you will be able to embed this code. You can add it to PowerPoint. You can export the data, and so on. So we'll come back to the embed feature in just a minute. Before we go too deep into the presentation side, we'll show you how you can create another type of a poll quickly. So this is the open-ended style, and this is the word cloud. And both of them are very straightforward. You can just type in your question here. And right now we have one template available. We have another one coming up in about 2 to 3 weeks from now, roughly sometime in January. And you can also decide how often people can participate. So the open-ended style in this case will really allow you to send any sort of long text. The word cloud is really designed to basically allow you to submit one word at a time, and then the presentation side will grow as you get more of the same words. So you can just basically type your question and then click launch, and the presentation page will update to reflect the notion of the word cloud or the open-ended. All right, so going back to the active poll page, here we have the ability to embed, and this is a very popular feature we have. It's very popular on the virtual events side of things, or the news or web side of things. It allows you to generate an embed code. So here you'll notice you can embed the active poll directly. So basically whatever is showing up here, this question, you can just embed it by using the script that we generate for you, which is this right here. So you can just basically copy this to a clipboard directly. This script will only have the poll by itself. And then I can also embed the audience Q&A side by itself or as part of this widget. So I can either embed the audience Q&A side of things, in which it will have this widget, and this widget can be basically customized. There are a few customizations you can do with it, but you can take this this whole gray area and embed it on its own, or you can take them both together. So if you wanted to take them both together, you can just enable this, and then the script will basically change to reflect this directly. You can also set a width, and you can set that directly from here. One important thing, and this is a request we get also often, is sometimes people want the poll, like they want to have multiple active polls at a time, and they want to embed a poll for a specific topic. Like in this case, we were talking about Bitcoin. I have an article about Bitcoin. I don't want to create an embed code that will change the next time I enable another poll. So we have this concept of a sticky poll. So the sticky poll essentially has a poll ID. So the poll ID will be shown inside of this embed script so that you can always use the same script without having to worry about the poll changing when a new poll comes up. So this is kind of a quick overview of the embed. Elizabeth will cover the PowerPoint add-ins in just a few minutes. And then the export data will allow you to export that data directly as a CSV data. One last thing we have quickly here is the audience Q&A. So the whole idea with the object Q&A, I mean the audience Q&A, is to really enable people to send in their questions either anonymously or by putting their name directly. And you have the ability to allow people to prioritize which questions in case you have so many coming in. You can moderate. So right now I have 2 questions coming in, and both of them are from anonymous users. So can you present results directly in a Zoom webinar? And I'll approve this question, and you'll notice that when I approve this question, it's going to show up here. So now people can actually vote on it. But at the same time, I can allow people to automatically publish all these questions if I just turn off the moderation side. So moderation will allow me to approve before it shows to all, and it's on by default. The profanity filter allows me to filter anything inappropriate. The social voting is basically this thumbs up feature that you have here. And then the anonymous will allow me to not collect names. It will be automatically anonymous, so we don't know who's asking these questions directly. So a few highlights on this feature. I can reply to people, whether they were thanks for testing. So I can reply to them whether I approve this question or not. So if I just reply to this person, but this person, you're not going to see this poll or this question because it wasn't approved. If I go in this this question, can you present results directly in a Zoom webinar? The answer is yes, you can. And if I click submit, then basically this question will have a small thing that allows you to expand it. So yeah, so actually I apologize. So this actually will show for the user. That user who asked this question will see this like user feedback coming up here as soon as I hit that reply button. Okay, now one last feature thing that we can just go over quickly. In this presentation style, you'll have the ability to have different themes like colors that you can choose. You have the ability to have different chart types. So you can have like bars, or you can have it as columns. You can have it as pie charts. So there are many different ways that you can actually select this. And you can also add your own Swift logo, your own logo to replace what you have here directly from the presentation page as well. Now, this navigation allows you to navigate between different polls. So if I enable this poll right now, you will be able to actually send in basically some feedback, and it can show up here directly. And you can navigate between all of the different polls that you have for such an offering. Now, any questions that I can address before moving forward? If not, I'll pass it on to Elizabeth, who basically is a product lead, and she can help us with going over the integration with PowerPoint, as well as how you can add additional tokens to your system, to your account. Thank you.
No questions so far. So yeah, let's dive right into that. That sounds great.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everybody, and thank you, Bilal. Let me start sharing my screen with you. Okay, so now we'll start with understanding how does the PowerPoint integration work. So once you have your presentation deck ready, create an additional slide that will be empty, and it will be used for your poll mainly. So once we have it in here, we need to go to the insert section and go to the store where it says get add-ins. We click on it and we need to search for Swift polling. All right, so Swift polling, and then we search for it. There you go. This is the very first one, is the one that we need. We press add, continue. And there you go. It's loading and it will appear right in here. So I have added previously another plugin to my slide as well. So it actually asks you to log in. You need to insert your login credentials and press sign in. All right. So the view that we have in here corresponds to the same view as you have in your account when you go to the polls list page. So basically you see all of the polls, and then you can see that there are these buttons that are called add. So we can start by adding a single poll. I will go ahead and add this very first question to my slide. Okay. And as you can see, this is the very same presentation page as we were just watching in the browser. So now let's actually delete this previous slide. Let's go to the very first slide and let's go to the slideshow mode. Okay, so this is my first slide, and let's say I talked and I navigate to the second slide. There you go. This is my poll slide. So I can do some nice things while I'm on this slide. I need to click on the slide and this presentation screen will become active. And as you can see, we have a start button. So let's say it is time to start this poll. We can actually come and click on it right from the slide and start collecting votes. Let's say we have a few polls back to back and we need to navigate between the polls. So we go to the next poll. And we can do some more customization while we are looking at the slide. We can go to the settings section and we can activate the dark mode, or we can have it white. So we decide how we want to present the view. And this start and stop button works on each of the poll. So we can actually have a full control over our polls while we are presenting in a slideshow mode. Then a very small tip for you. Let's say you are all done and you want to advance your slideshow and you're trying to use your keyboard. So it will not advance your slideshow. So what you need to do is to use your cursor and go to the spaces where you see some black area and simply click on it. And it will advance your slideshow. And this is basically how you need to use the polling inside of PowerPoint. You need to log in to your account and your account will be active for 12 hours, meaning after the 12 hours, your login within the slide will expire. Therefore, when you have a presentation coming up, make sure that you log into your account from your slide before your presentation, okay? All right, I believe this is it. Let's escape this viewing here. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop any questions in our Q&A chat. And now let's speak about stacking some more codes and the very nice thing, the cherry on the top that we have for you. So if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you will see a section that says AppSumo settings. You need to go there. And here you see a field where you need to insert your token. So once you do it, you press redeem. And there you go. As you could notice, my plan was upgraded. So now we have this little cherry for you. Once you upgrade, you have this feature that is called invite friends. So let's go there. What this feature allows you to do is to insert the email address of any person you want to invite and share your responses with. So let's say I'm going to add some kind of an email address, and that person is going to.
Elizabeth,
Yes?
the share screen is still showing the PowerPoint.
Oops, sorry. Let me stop sharing actually. And let me start again. Okay, is it showing now?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Let's start all over again. So we look at the left-hand side of our screen and we see this AppSumo settings section. We click on it and this is the view that we see. So this field that we have in here is the one we need to use when we want to redeem some more tokens. So you simply go ahead and insert your code in there and you will see your plan updating when you take a look at the right-hand side. So it shows you right now that this account has 3,500 responses active. So I was talking about the cherry on the top, but you were not seeing it. So right now, when I navigate into the invite friends section, here it will allow me to invite more people. So based on the plan that you're using, you will have different amount of people that you can invite. So with this planning here, I can invite 2 more people. So when you insert the email address of these persons, this number of responses that you have in here will be split. So let's say we have 2 people. So we just invited 1 person and there is us using the account. These responses will be halved and 1 half will be used for our account, another half will be used for their account. If we add the 3rd person, then this number of responses will be divided into 3 equal parts. Okay, and basically this is how you work with the invite friends settings. All right. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those into the Q&A widget. And before we get to any questions, I believe, or while we are doing it, I would kindly ask you to go to the poll settings and we have some nice questions for you. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to go away from this screen. And there you go. And let's go to the audience Q&A section and see if we have some questions. We do not have any questions. Are there any questions that we are not seeing?
No, that is it. Yeah, just the questions on the deal page that have already been addressed, but where's the best place if folks do have questions afterwards to direct those for you guys?
Bilal, do you want to address that?
Yeah, sure. So actually, there are a few ways. We have people available in the chat most of the day, so they can go to swift.excitem.com and they would be able to ask questions and we address them live. Or they can just send us a question through the AppSumo page. So that would be also great as well.
Awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to share before we sign off?
Nothing from my end. It's really a pleasure. Thank you all.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. Sumo Links, thank you guys for hopping on. Again, you can get this deal on AppSumo. Amazing deal backed by the AppSumo 60-day guarantee. So feel free to play around with it, use it for your business, see what kind of incredible results you can get. And those are the ways that you can also reach out if you have any questions. But thank you both so much for hopping on and for bringing this great deal to the community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.